Number 99. That's not bad, is it?
Well, it depends on what it means.
True. Let's elaborate after the intro. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of reviewing your underwater films. And no, 99 is not Sebastian's age.
Oh, thank you.
It's not even our combined age yet. It is the number of episodes that we have recorded for this series, reviewing your underwater films. And the next one is going to be episode 100, obviously, which is going to be a little special. We're not going to be talking too much about it, and I'm not going to be telling you what is going to be special.
And I promise you, Matthias is not singing.
No, I won't be singing. I'll be dressed, decent, nothing like that, but it's going to be a surprise for you. So it's definitely worth tuning into episode 100, but it's also great that you've already tuned in today for episode 99, as we're watching a video made by
Mark Weber.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark, for your submission. What do we know about Mark's submission and the video that we're about to watch?
What do we know about Mark? Well, no. Mark as well sent us some description about what he's doing and with what kind of stuff he was filming. And Mark was filming with the GoPro Hero 10.
Again, we've got a lot of GoPro Hero 10s lately.
Yeah, I think it's quite popular, or it was quite popular. And he was using it handheld without any lights.
Okay.
And he told us he is video editing on his iPad with the the Live Plus app. And I think he uses it for the color correction. Yeah. And then he uses his iPad to do the editing already on the trip.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see.
Convenient. Nice. And Mark has submitted a variety of different videos. Thank you very much for that, Mark. We have just picked one out of the 4 or 5 videos that you've submitted, and we've picked the most recent video that you submitted, because we thought that this is probably the video that you're most advanced on. And we wanted to give you some feedback on that latest video that you've created. So that's why we've picked the Belize video, right?
You're totally wrong.
Oh, excuse me.
No, Matthias is totally right.
As always.
We're watching the liveaboard video from Belize. Here we go.
You completely confused me. Let's watch that video. This?
A big-headed Belize turtle.
Jesus.
you have got the mind, if you've got $1 for laying on the line.
Till next time. Beautiful. Thank you, Mark, for the submission. Sebastian.
Why is it always me?
Because you're the only one standing next to me.
That's the other guy.
I can't call out John or Jim or...
All right. No. Cool. We had some nice shot in there, as well as some good framing. It was like a nice tune, just following along. We had topside footage, just in terms of storytelling. It's just like get a little bit of that.
I like how they were playing cards.
Yeah. And and I have to say the stability for handheld with the GoPro is pretty decent.
Yeah, I would say so too.
When I read it, I was expecting more like a little bit more shakiness. But it was decent stability.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yep, I would say the same. Yeah, and I also think that you've captured a good variety of different wildlife, different subjects. Because we had like our coral reefs, our reef scenes. We had divers. We had big life like the barracuda and that turtle with the huge head.
Yeah.
Really, that probably was a loggerhead turtle, but I mean, it's just a proportion of the shell to the head was weird. But yeah. Well, something new every time you watch an underwater video. A few things that I think need some improvement, Mark, are the photos, and you probably saw this coming.
Yeah, and he already wrote it in his email.
Oh, did he?
Said, I know you don't like it.
Yeah, sorry, Mark.
He was preparing.
Okay, you already knew that was gonna come, so we're not gonna go any deeper into this. The music, and that is very much down to personal taste, but for me, the choice of music wasn't really doing it on this clip, or this film, sorry. I think that it was too chilled out, too relaxed. I would have really wished for a slightly more upbeat music track. I think that would have fit better to the images.
Yeah, I don't think the music is bad per se. It's more like the image that we saw fitting the music, yeah. Because it's a nice tune. It's like it's chill.
It's chill, but it was a bit too chilled for me.
Yeah.
A bit too chilled for me. Other things that I noticed is, and this is to do with a GoPro being used to film this, there was one or two shots where you were very close to your object, and you could see that the object went out of focus.
Yeah.
And that's just, you GoPro action cams, as soon as you get closer than like an arm's reach to your object, it's most likely going to be out of focus. So you're normally better off just keeping your distance, even if that means that you're going to be having a smaller object in your frame, not your image, but at least it's going to be in focus. And then maybe you can just crop in post-production if you shoot in, does the 10 do 5.3K? It does, I think, or 4K, whatever.
I'm not sure.
Even in 4K, you can crop in a little bit and make it a little bigger. And then another thing that we kind of need to talk about is colors and color correction, the actual look of the underwater footage. Again, this is a problem that GoPros have, especially when used with the auto white balance. Depending on the conditions, depending on how much light they get, they produce stunning imagery and they produce bad imagery.
It's going to be sometimes night and day.
And it can be a lottery, because sometimes you don't really know how the camera makes that decision and how it composes that the image that it shows you.
Yeah, and I think there the problem starts with the colors, with the way he was doing the color correction. Because like if you're coming in with like, I don't want to say bad footage, but like already with like critical footage for color correction, and you're using like the Dive Plus app, then it's gonna, it's not gonna end well for the footage. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta be honest. I haven't used Dive Plus too much myself, but from the way I understand it, it's designed more specifically for photos, for underwater photos, and it analyzes the image that it is given and uses a still image to analyze and correct that still image. So based on that one frame, right?
Yeah.
If you then use that on a video clip, the problem I see is that it's just going to analyze, I don't know, the first frame, the last frame, a middle frame, whatever. It's just going to analyze one frame and it's going to do all the corrections based on that frame. But as you're moving your camera around, conditions change. The light, how the light falls onto the lens changes. The brightness might change. So it's not going to be correct for the entire clip. And I think that's also what we saw in certain clips here, that the correction was done and probably worked on one specific frame, but did not work for the entire clip.
Yeah, or you got 2/3 of the frame or of the picture were decent corrected, but like 1/3 the software wasn't able to do a proper color correction, or overcorrected it, or corrected it in the wrong way. But I think I'm not sure what kind of app, because he didn't write that down in his email with which app he was editing. So
on the iPad, you mean?
Yeah, on the iPad. So I'm not sure if he can. I'm not sure. Can he do editing with the Dive Plus app? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Either way, I'm assuming he wasn't doing it with like a dedicated app for video editing. Well, there are different options out there, and the advantage of that is that for example, you get Final Cut already as an iPad app. You get DaVinci as an iPad app. There's the other app, and I always forgot its name. I think it's Fusion, but I'm
Fusion.
not. Is it Fusion?
Fusion, yeah.
So like, and there are many more. But the advantage of these kind of apps, they're made for video editing. So you get certain elements in there for the editing process, but especially for the color correction part, where you can do like your own correction, or you could even like use a lookup table, a LUT, especially for like action cam footage. It's very handy to just get an LUT, just upload it, and you get decent looking footage because they're made for that.
Yeah, and then oftentimes the difference with LUTs is that they are actually created for video footage, not for still photos, right? So they might not push your footage as much as, for example, a Dive Plus app does, but because they don't push it that much, they're going to be in a more narrow field, and they're going to be able to level out any extremes of, too much brightness, too little brightness, all that sort of stuff. It's still going to be within those limitations, and it's just going to, most of the time, give you better results if you use a dedicated LUT rather than something like Dive Plus for videos. And I'm specifically talking for videos here now. So this would actually be a good time to mention my LUT pack that I've created. That I've created for GoPro footage. It's a LUT pack consisting of 9 different LUTs, giving you a variety of different options to quickly and conveniently correct and grade your GoPro footage. I'll link it down in the video description below, so feel free to go and check it out if that's something that interests you, and if you're a diver who uses a GoPro to film their underwater adventures.
Yeah, sorry, still about the color thing.
Yeah.
And I think especially with the GoPro, where it I think on the topside footage you don't realize it too much, but on the underwater footage you realize it's mostly oversaturated.
Yeah.
So I think most time I'm working with GoPro footage, the first thing I'm going to do in the color correction is just get the saturation down a little bit, because it just pushes the colors too much.
Yeah. Also, this is something that can be changed. I'm guessing that you were using just a regular standard color profile on the GoPro. Now you could change that by going into like a flat profile, which is automatically going to take a lot of that oversaturation out of the footage. That might also be something, Mark, that you might want to try on your next trip. Try to work with that flat profile. It's just going to give you a better starting point if you're doing color corrections anyways afterwards in post-production. Right. Anything else?
No,
You got all ticked off?
I do.
Excellent. Good work. Fantastic. So let me sum it up for you, Mark, then. And again, thanks for your submission. We really enjoyed your little summary, your little film here that you showed us. We think that you've got some really good framing and some really good stability on your shots, especially considering that you were filming with a GoPro handhold. So that was quite impressive, I think. Stuff that you can work on, that we suggest you work on, is the color topic that we talked about. So have a more detailed look into how you can correct those colors and match the different clips a little better to one another, and also try to get the oversaturated look out of the footage. So maybe as Sebastian was mentioning before, using a dedicated editing app on your iPad is a good way to go, rather than relying on the Dive Plus to do the correction and then edit in a different app. Something that has everything in one place is probably a good way to go from here. And I talked about the photos. I have to mention them here again. I wouldn't use them. I don't think they do. They do give any benefit to a film. Keep them separate and just use moving pictures in a film that you want to create that way. So those are the two things that I would put my focus on for your future underwater video and film projects.
Very good, Matthias. Very good.
Oh, well, thank you. Can you give me a little pat on there? Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. That feels so much better.
Oh, wow. Well, guys, if you want to check out Mark's channel and Mark's video.
Videos. So they can watch the other ones as well.
True. We will link them down in the description below. Have a look at his channel and check out all the other content he has on his channel. If you guys want us to review one of your videos, please send us send us an email to contact@matthiaslebo.com.
Or send us a link via email. That also works.
And then put the link to your video in the email and a little description of the camera used, the dive site, anything special, which is interesting for us and the audience. Absolutely. And then we are looking forward to reviewing your video.
Absolutely. Excellent. You've mentioned everything.
Cool.
Thank you. Cool.
Can I?
Oh, well done.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and for being with us on this 99th episode of Reviewing Your Underwater Films. And I can't wait to welcome you back here next week when we have our 100th episode of the Reviewing Your Underwater Films series. As I said before, it's going to be something special. Just tune in, watch it, and I promise you won't regret what you'll get to see in next week's episode. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Keep capturing all those amazing underwater adventures of yours, and the two of us look forward to seeing you back here next Thursday. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.